Measures were vetoed by President Bongbong Marcos, including a bill that raises the take-home pay of election workers. The country's economic managers are seeing a rosy outlook at the country's near-term growth prospects. An infectious disease expert says there could be more cases of monkeypox in the Philippines apart from the one reported and verified. And the musical film Katips wins big in last night's 70th FAMAS Awards. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know to jumpstart your weekend. I'm Riza Diaz. President Bongbong Marcos has vetoed 2 more bills, including a measure seeking to grant tax exemptions for honoraria and allowances given to election workers. Press Secretary Trixie Cruz Angeles said the president vetoed the measure for running counter to the government's comprehensive tax reform program. The president also noted substantial revenue loss if this measure is signed into law. Marcos Jr. also vetoed the bill creating a transportation safety board. The president said the functions of this body is already being undertaken by several agencies. The country's economic cluster is optimistic about the growth prospects in the coming years as the government ramps up infrastructure spending and tax collection from e-commerce. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez with a report.
The Marcos administration is committed to building a robust and inclusive economy. In the Manila Times' Mid-Year Economic Forum, the president's economic team on Friday discussed the country's future over the next 6 years. And according to Finance Secretary Ben Jokno, growth prospects are going to be bright for the Philippines.
We will restore price stability, address economic scarring from the pandemic. We will make sure that our strategic economic interventions will be felt by the ordinary Filipino. The agenda will focus on generating more jobs, quality jobs, and green jobs.
Jokno was talking about their 8-point socio-economic agenda. The government expects the country to grow by 6.5 to 7.5% this year. They intend to achieve it through higher infrastructure spending, human capital development, and digitalization.
The role of railway is something that could be further pursued, but also equally important, cargo movement from producing, for example, agriculture producing areas to urban or consuming sectors. Another type of connectivity will focus on connecting with tourist destinations across the archipelago to really tap this sector. The port area and airports are also something that has received attention in these discussions.
For the National Economic and Development Authority, gunning for a higher growth rate of 6.5 to 8% from 2023 to 2028, e-commerce is also seen as a driver to growth and economic recovery.
We think that that is something that could be a growth driver going forward. We already have some parts of this digital economy, but we want it really to be more vibrant, starting with the infrastructure itself, the data centers, the artificial intelligence, and of course the digital skills. We need to have that a pool actually of manpower so that we can have this vibrant digital economy.
In 2020, the industry contributed $12 billion to the economy. That's 3.4% of the country's GDP. While the government is targeting to raise revenues from e-commerce to $24.2 billion.
We have long recognized that the digital platforms are needed. They will also improve tax collections and make payments of taxes a lot easier.
Private sectors have also doubled down on digitalization, investing heavily in technology to provide financial access to Filipinos.
Banking the unbanked is the first area by which we see our involvement in the public-private collaboration. We are making available digital platforms that cater to the diverse needs of different customer segments. We've made online banking even more accessible through mobile phones.
However, the government is also aware on other challenges, such as the still elevated inflation, the lingering impact of the pandemic, and the unpredictable global political economy. The government is eyeing to impose VAT on digital service providers, taxes on single-use plastics, and studying on carbon taxation as a source of revenue. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez, We Are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. An infectious disease expert flags more potential monkeypox cases in the Philippines after the health department confirmed the country's index case. Dr. Ronchine Solante told the chiefs that there could be more cases of monkeypox as mobility restrictions in the country eases. He added that the Philippines needs to expand its testing capacity by training other laboratories and hospitals to detect monkeypox. The DOH confirmed on Friday the country's first monkeypox case in a returning Filipino who is now in strict isolation. Aside from the monkeypox virus, heat wave is also gripping parts of Europe. One climate researcher explains how this impacts economies in this Bloomberg Quick Take.
Extreme heat typically makes people less productive and more vulnerable to illness. Why? When body temperature increases, blood vessels widen in order to try and cool down. More open blood vessels means lower blood pressure, resulting in the heart needing to beat faster to pump blood around the body. Sweating is another efficient means of lowering body temperature. However, this causes our bodies to lose essential salts and fluids. This, combined with lower blood pressure, can have side effects, from swollen feet and heat rash to more serious conditions like nausea and headaches. At its worst, low blood pressure can result in heart attacks. Estimates suggest heat waves can lead to hundreds of fatalities. The additional strain placed on our bodies by heat waves also affects our productivity. Bob Ward from the London School of Economics believes there will be a big dent in the economy as people struggle to focus in overheated offices. Ward argues that the UK still thinks of itself as a cold country. British homes and offices are ill-equipped to deal with hot weather as they are designed to let in sunlight and retain heat. Heat waves also exacerbate inequality. Soaring energy prices mean air conditioning is becoming unaffordable for those on lower incomes. With climate change likely to make heat waves more frequent and intense, Bob Ward argues our attitudes and infrastructure will need to change.
Martial law film Katips bagged major honors at the 70th FAMAS Awards on Saturday. Katips took home 7 awards, including Best Picture, Best Musical Score, and Best Cinematography. Vince Tañara also won Best Director and Best Actor for his work in Katips. Charo Santos Concho won Best Actress for her performance in Kun Maupay Manit Panahon. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 9 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on a Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.